Hello, my name is Noah, and this is my video presentation on homosociality, which I have subtitled Breaking Down the Image of the Bro in Popular Culture. First and foremost, what is homosociality? Homosociality is the concept of defining same-sex relationships that are neither romantic nor sexual. Examples of homosocial relationships include same-sex friendships, mentorships, and work relationships, or co-workers. Applying homosociality to male-male relationships. Homosocial relationships between men are crucial to male psychological and emotional development. As described by Michael Flood, quote, "Masculinity studies argues for powerful links between homosociality and masculinity. Men's lives are said to be highly organized by relations between men. Men's practice of gender has been theorized as a homosocial enactment, in which the performance of manhood is in front of and granted by other men." End quote. We can see how this view of male homosociality informs many of the experiences and developments of men's lives, consciously or unconsciously. Now, how do we apply all of this to the bro image in popular culture? The bro, or groups of bros, can be used as a helpful catch-all term for an archetype of male character in literature, film, television, video games, and more that exhibit a kind of hypermasculinity that is derived from their homosocial relationships. Utilizing Flood's theories and research on the homosocial as a framework, we can analyze various key examples of the bro archetype from popular culture and see how deeply ingrained these theories of homosociality are in our society. My first example is the novel Dracula, written by Bram Stoker, and before you can see an illustration of three of the main male protagonists from the story, Arthur, John, and Quincy. In Dracula, a text written well over 100 years ago, we can see the ways in which homosociality between the main male protagonists informs their relationships between one another and with the female protagonists of the story. Three men just shown, are introduced as potential suitors to one of the story's main female protagonists, Lucy Westenra. These three men, despite having nothing in common in terms of occupation, personality, or in some cases even country of origin, are all linked in a complex homosocial relationship because of their shared vying for a heterosexual relationship with Lucy. Therefore, we can see how, despite a lack of sexual or romantic relationships between the three men, their homosocial relationship is integral to their heterosexual identity, as theorized by Flood. My second example today is the video game Grand Theft Auto V, released by Rockstar Games in 2013. Moving to a much more modern example, we can see how Flood's theory that male-male homosocial relationships inform men's heterosexual identities and relationships, and how this connection is integral to the bro archetype. While the men of Dracula may not be entirely recognizable as bros by today's standards, one need look no further than Grand Theft Auto V's protagonists to see how this homosociality and its implications on heterosexuality inform the image of the bro we now see in modern media. The three protagonists of Grand Theft Auto V are all connected to each other in a homosocial relationship based on shared work and shared ideals. All three men share complex heterosexual relationships with the women in their lives, and yet despite no real indication of homosexual attraction between the three of them, their sexual and romantic exploits with women are clearly informed by their homosocial relationship to one another. Again, as Flood details in his research, quote, "Tim and Curtis are influential participants in the social and recreational life of the male members of the Academy, the ADFA. Both men give a very strong sense of a male homosocial collectivity at ADFA, which they very frequently refer to as the boys. The boys routinely engage in group drinking and socializing at nightclubs near the ADFA campus, and in the two bars at ADFA itself. Tim's and Curtis's social lives are deeply homosocial in their organization. The men's drinking, socializing, fighting, and picking up are all conducted with and among men, and their intimate sexual lives are the routine material for stories shared with their mates. Tim himself identifies the, quote, male bonding thing at ADFA. Applying this to Grand Theft Auto V, we can see a similar relationship can be found between Michael and Franklin, two of the game's protagonists. And as their homosocial relationship deepens, the lessons they learn and experiences they gain from one another begin to inform their interactions and relationships with the women in their lives, clearly illustrating the influence homosocial male relationships have on men's heterosexual identities, and codifying both men as bro archetypes as a result. So, where do we go from here? Flood's research and theory regarding the integral connection between male-male homosocial relationships informing men's heterosexual relationships and interactions is a fundamental aspect of the creation and widespread adoption of the bro archetype in popular culture. Flood's primary theories can clearly be seen being applied to male-male relationships in classical and modern literature and media, and the evolution of the bro archetype acts as a means of exploring and reinforcing that theory. Thank you very much for watching.